All right, guys, today we got a great video for all you buyers who are waiting for the market to hit the bottom.
You better get fired up.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. If you guys have any questions or comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, always feel free to put them in the comments and I will answer them live before we get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd hit the subscribe button, I'd appreciate it on YouTube. So what do? Every Wednesday, we meet at 12:30. We talk about the market. We talk about the different trends. I usually get into the MLS and show you literally what's happening. We try to keep the opinions out of it and just look at the facts. But today I want to go over one simple thing, one graph. And the graph is going to give you a little bit of insight, maybe a lot of insight as to how you should feel about the market, the real estate market going down. And is it going to continue going down? And how much is it going to go down? And should I still be waiting to purchase because I want those prices to go down, right? And I thought this was such a beautiful chart, a helpful chart. And it was shared by my good friend, Tristan Ahumada. I believe he's the editor-in-chief for Success Magazine. He's a phenomenal real estate agent, really good friend, just an intelligent guy. Can't say enough about him. And I'm going to share something that he had shared today on in one of our real estate groups, because I think you will get a lot out of it. Here it is. So this is the month-over-month percentage change in home values. This is nationwide, and you can see a little over a year ago in January, prices had gone up. Let's just call it 1.6%, right? You've got Case-Shiller, FHFA, and CoreLogic, three different companies looking at the prices, right? They're all pretty much the same trend, but they're a little bit different depending upon how you look at the numbers, right? So you can see in February, very strong, March, very strong, April, very strong, May, very strong. And remember this too, in a strong market, house prices might go up 3 to 6% in a year. We'll divide that by 12 months. You're looking at 1/4 to 0.5% a month on average, right? You're seeing 1.6, 1.9, 2, 1.6, 1.3. That's the first 5 months of 2022. It was hot, right? Prices really went up. Even in June, regardless of which company you're looking at, they went up. Now, you will see July, August, and September, they come down. August was a worst month. September was the second worst month. But then in October and November and January, December and January, they kind of plateau. And I remember telling everybody, looking at my data, it feels like the market had gone up, and then it came down, and then it kind of plateaued. And that's what I felt. This chart exactly states what it was I was feeling just looking at our market, right? But now since February, and we're feeling this in our business too, since February, prices have started to creep up, right? You'll see March was even bigger than February. And I'll tell you, even though we don't have April and May's not quite finished yet, the trend is continuing. Those numbers are continuing to go up in full percentage points or more, full percentage points, both in the month of April and in May. So what that tells me is the bottom of the market was January, right? The market had gone down, down, down. It really went down in August and September. That's what kind of pushed a lot of people, in my opinion, to say, I'm going to wait till prices drop. They dropped a little bit more in October, November, December, January. But then in January, that was the bottom. Now they're starting to come back up, and we've seen 4 continuous months of these prices coming up. So the odds that they're then going to go back down, it's not possible, but it's probably not going to happen, I guess is the best way to say it, right? So then that begs the question, why? Why, Joe? If rates have gone up so far, if inflation has gone up so much, if it's tough to get a job that pays me what I think I'm worth, why are home prices continuing to go up? Especially here in Florida. That's a nationwide graph right there. In Florida, it looks even hotter, right? So the question is why? Now, I don't have all the answers to why, but I'll share with you what I think is probably the biggest factor leading to this. And number one, and this isn't the biggest factor, I'll save that. One of the factors is rates are around 6, 7%. And yes, that's a lot higher than it was 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. But when you look at the history of mortgage rates, we're very conservative right now, right? That 7.5 range is kind of average over the years. We're at 6 to 7. So we're still a hair lower than average, or we can just chalk it up to average. So there are a lot of people who've seen the different markets over the years. They're not 20, 25 years old. We're talking 50, 60-year-olds, and they're seeing this and they're saying, yeah, we had a Christmas present here for how many years where we had these great rates in the 2s, 3s, and 4s. If you took advantage of it, great. If you didn't, well, that Christmas present went away. And now you're looking at average, normal, expectable, reasonable rates. So a lot of people aren't as worked up about these rates as the media would tell you they are, right? We're just not seeing that same concern in real life that you're hearing in the news articles. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, is the fact that you've got all these people between maybe 2 and 4% or 2 and 4.5% on their mortgage, and they want to leave for whatever reason, but they don't want to lose that rate and exchange it for a 6 to 7% rate. So what do? They stay put. And because they stay put, the amount of inventory on the market is lower. And because inventory is lower, any amount of demand from buyers is higher than it would normally be because inventory is low. And because that demand versus supply is so hot right now, prices go up, right? That's just the way it is. So when you're looking at rentals, right now, rentals comparably to purchasing, it's cheaper to go in and get a rental. On average, if you're comparing an apples to apples house, it's cheaper per month to get a rental than it is to purchase. But I'll tell you, in about a year or two, based on trends, that number is not only going to hit equal, but it's going to go up, right? And if you buy today, you've got, I'll say 5 things included in your payment. Unless you're in an HOA, we'll take the HOA payment out, right? So we'll say there's 4 things included in your payment. You've got principal and interest, that's your loan. You've got taxes and insurance. Now your taxes will go up. And if you're in Florida and it's homestead, it's capped at 3% a year. So it's not going to go up a whole lot. Your insurance, well, if you're in Florida, who knows what it's going to do, right? It might go up, it might go down, it might go up by thousands. We have no idea. But you've got to imagine, too, that landlord is also facing increases in taxes and increases in insurance. They're going to adjust the rent to make up for it. It just is what it is. As they purchase homes with these 6 and 7% rates, they have to change the rent so they make a profit. They're not going to lose money on these, right? If you purchase today and rates go up, you get a sweet deal. You're in at what are normal, maybe even a hair under normal rates. And that's phenomenal, right? But your principal and interest will not change. So while rental payments keep going up, your payment isn't going up nearly as much. Yeah, the taxes and insurance, but the principal and interest stay the same. All right. And here's the thing. If rates come down, a lot of people would say, Joe, I told you so. I shouldn't have bought. I should have waited. But I would just say refi, right? It's going to cost you a couple grand to go through the refinance process. You're going to get that lower rate. And whatever you spent, the couple grand on refining, it's way cheaper in 99% of cases than all the money you threw out the window paying your landlord's mortgage down for a year or two while you were renting, right? So there are very few circumstances when I sit down with somebody and run the numbers that it makes sense to rent over buy. Now, if you're going to be in an area for 2.5 years or less, it rarely makes sense to purchase unless you're just trying to feed your convenience, right? But from a strictly financial standpoint, it makes sense to rent if you're going to be here 2.5 years or less. But from a strictly financial standpoint, if you're going to be here 3 years or more, in virtually every circumstance, it makes sense to purchase, right? What do we got here? Mitch Steele, my good buddy Mitch Steele. He's a bourbon buddy. Let's get Jordan. That's his wife. Recently found out she's pregnant. Congratulations. So excited for her. And I's monthly payment locked in this summer. Woohoo, let's go. Baby, let's do it. Let's do it. We're going out to look at homes tomorrow night. I'm fired up. But yeah, so there you guys go. There's a little bit of data on the market right now. If you've got any questions, always reach out to me. If it's something private, you can send me a DM. More than happy to help you. And guys, I'm here to help. So if you've got a realtor, you want to work with that realtor, you can still ask me questions. If you're not confident in their opinion, you want a second opinion, I will absolutely give it to you. And I will still feel no hard feelings if you go work with that realtor. I just want to see you guys making good decisions. I want to see more people owning homes, building up their equity, maintaining a reasonable payment per month that they can afford. And home ownership is the easiest way to do that. So, guys, I appreciate you joining me. Until next week, have a phenomenal day.